Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Swami Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Swami Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Mani Sudatama Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Mani Sudatama Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jagannath Swami Jagannath Swami Jagannath Swami Jagannath Swami Jagannath Swami Jagannath Swami Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Swami Priya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Swami Priya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Swami Priya Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, audible.
Oh, Hare Krishna. So, welcome all devotees on ISKCON Seshadripuram morning Srimad Bhagavatam Zoom platform. So, today I have been told to discuss on fourth sloka of 27th chapter of third canto. So, we will discuss that shortly. Fourth shloka, 27th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto. अर्थे है विद्यमाने अपि संसृतिर्न निवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयानस्य स्वप्ने अनर्थागमो यतः. Word to word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Arthe, real cause, he certainly, avidyamane, not existing, api, although, samsritihi, the material existential condition, na, not, nivartate, does cease, dhyayataha, contemplating, vishayan, objects of senses, asya, of the living entity, swapne, in the dream, anartha, of disadvantages, agamaha, arrival, yatha, like. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Actually, a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because of his mentality of lording it over material nature, his material existential condition does not cease. And just as in a dream, he is affected by all sorts of disadvantages. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The example of dream is very appropriate. Due to different mental conditions, in dreams, we are put into advantageous and disadvantageous positions. Similarly, the spirit soul has nothing to do with the material nature, but because of his mentality of lording it over, he is put into the position of conditional existence. Conditional existence is described here as dhyato vishayan asya. Vishaya means an object of enjoyment. As long as one continues to think that he can enjoy material advantages, he is in conditioned life, but as soon as he comes to his senses, he develops the knowledge that he is not the enjoyer, or the only enjoyer is Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 29 shloka of 5th chapter, he is the beneficiary of all results of sacrifices and penances. Bhaktaram Yagyatapasam, that is shloka. And he is the proprietor of all three worlds, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the actual friend of living entities. But instead of living proprietorship, enjoyment, and actual position as the friend of all living entities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we claim that we are proprietors, the enjoyers and friends. We perform philanthropic work, thinking that we are the friends of human society. Sometimes someone may proclaim himself to be the very good national worker, the best friend of the people and the country, but actually he cannot be the greatest friend of everyone. The only friend is Krishna. One should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is actual friend. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated and he will get all help needed. Arousing this consciousness of conditioned soul is the greatest service, not posing oneself as a great friend of another living entity. The power of friendship is limited. Although one claims to be friends, he cannot be a friend unlimitedly. There are unlimited number of living entities and our resources are limited. Therefore, we cannot be of any real benefit to the people in general. The best service to the people in general is to awaken them to Krishna consciousness so that they may know that the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend is Krishna. Then this illusory dream of lording it over material nature will vanish. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Nirade. Nashtaprayeshu avadreshu Viktyam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameham Dadati Sapanandimam. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanshyam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tasya Jivam Sadvaitam Sarvabhautam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitam Tasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Brashya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'll discuss the sloka. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimade Jaya Pataka Swaminiti Namane Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Krupa Padayane Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagra Grama Tayane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshinnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Asadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Rama. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So arte ha vidyamane api samsritirna nivartate dhayato vishayanasya swapnen anartha agamo yataha. Actually, a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because of his mentality of lording it over material nature, his material existential condition does not cease. Just as in the dream, he is affected by all sort of disorderity. Hare Krishna. So this shloka is very important in the sense. Now Kapila Muni is explaining to Mother Devati about this material nature and position of the soul in this material nature and relation of soul with super soul, that is Lord Krishna, and how material nature is coming from Lord Krishna. All are interlinked, and Lord Kapila is establishing that correlations properly. Okay, Sankhya philosophy means, we know Sankhya means elementary. So as we discuss, Sankhya philosophy is a very elementary study of this material nature. Okay, and based on the elementary study of material nature, as well as subtle material nature also, mind, intelligence, ego, and soul also is being described in Sankhya philosophy, and how soul is entrapped into this material nature is also described. Even this shloka, particular shloka, as well as the earlier 2-3 shlokas, are more stressing on how soul is entangled into the material nature. So this shloka says it is entangled, right? And Prabhupada mentioned that how he's entangled. And actually it is also mentioned that material nature, living entity, that is we, soul. We are not material bodies, we are soul. So we are actually at its original soul position. We are transcendental to material nature. Means what? Transcendental to material nature means we are not part of this material nature, neither we are material nature, but currently we are thinking we are material nature. Like we are thinking we are body, we are thinking this is my, I'm with this hand, this is my body, this is my hand, this is my paraphernalia, this is my family, this is my nation. Is all expanded thinking that I am this, I am into this, this is for me. This is all related to me. And that is what entanglement starts. So this shloka is throwing more light. So some earlier 2-3 shlokas also mentioned in similar way that how due to false ego, living entity is entangled. Why you are entangled? Due to false ego. False ego of whom? False ego of our own self. False ego is a subtle element. It's a material element like mind, intelligence. Mind we can't see. Intelligence we can't see. We can feel. Similarly, false ego we can't see, but we can experience false ego. How we get into false ego. Okay, so false ego is the in day-to-day life also we use the word ego. That is also similar to false ego, but it is just one part of it. False ego at a very broader term. False ego is nothing but thinking that we are these bodies, thinking that I am the inner, and it's all for me. Okay, that is false ego. And what happens due to false ego? Due to false ego, we forget our original identity, which is our true ego. There is ego, we have to be with ego, but there has to be true ego, false ego. True ego means we think that we are servant of Lord, or we are obliged to Lord, or we are part and parcel of Lord. While false ego means we forget Lord and we don't accept Lord, we deny the Lord, but we say that we are, I am Lord, it's for me. So we enjoy like Lord. So that's the whole concept of this shloka. Now these misconceptions we have developed. Now coming back to, I will go into more details on this also. But now what we discussed just now is how living entity in real condition is transcendent to material world. So material world is nothing but these are the transactions. These all transactions are going on. Okay. Material world is getting created, material world is getting destroyed. We are getting, trapped into material world. Then we gets into hibernation. Once material get dissolved, again material creates. There again we come back and we become active. Soul become. Otherwise it gets into hibernation or it in the supta avastha. Okay. So this is perennially going on in the material world. It is transactional. There are 24 elements which we discuss. Lord Kapila explains that 24 elements of Sankhya philosophy. So they will work in particular way. So material nature will work in its own way. We don't have any control on that. Or even though we think we have got control, it may be true to some extent. We have got control on material in a very limited way, very negligible. So material world is running based on the laws of material nature. We are utilizing this material world for our own benefit. We are trying to utilize. When I say utilize, actually the real world is exploit. So that's why in this shloka, Prabhupada explained, we are trying to lording over the material nature. Lording means showing the proprietorship. Okay. So, but is it that true? No. We are not owning this material nature. It doesn't belongs to us. We are actually the part and parcel of God. It belongs to, material nature belongs to Lord Krishna. He has created it. Who says that? Lord Krishna himself says that, and we can see that. So, point here is, we are thinking we are the proprietor. So there is a shloka. I'll just read that shloka. In this same purport, Prabhupada explains shloka of 29 of 5.29 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. What it shows, what it says, Bhoktaram yogya yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram savrudam sarvabhutanam natvam mam shantim richati. Means Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Bhoktaram means enjoyer. Yagya tapasam means all yagyas, all sacrifices, all the things what we do. Who is the enjoyer? Lord Krishna. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. He is the owner. He is the proprietor. He is the enjoyer and he is the owner of everything. Yagya tapasam. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. Sarvaloka means all this material nature and everything. All loka, material, spiritual, everything. So loka maheshwar. Maheshwar means ultimate God. Ultimate, authority. Sarvaloka Mahesh. Ishwar means like God. So he is a enjoyer, he is a proprietor. And he is also doer. He is only driving the whole thing, material. Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Savrudam Sarvabhutanam. Savrudam means whose heart is very, pious or very good. Savrudam. Whose heart has changed to come out of falsehood. Sarvabhutanam. Sarvabhutanam. All the living entities. Whoever thinks like that, whose heart has changed and whose heart has Lord Krishna is there. Natvam, knowing this, knowing what? Knowing that Lord is the proprietor, Lord is the owner, and Lord is the doer of those material. Knowing that, Natvam Shantim means all the living entities can become happy. Shanti means happy, permanent happy. So, if you see in current scenario, current modern age, there's a what you call anxiety pandemic. I was reading somewhere this anxiety pandemic. There's a pandemic. Pandemic means it's all very widespread and getting difficult to control, like disease. Anxiety is a mental disease. If you see currently, not only currently, it is in peak now. It is going to be more and more as we go further. But everybody is under anxiety. Material world means anxiety. Okay, material world, nature of material. Kuntha. This is Kuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. Kuntha means there is no anxiety. So material world is made in such a way that you are always under constant anxiety. So this shloka, knowing this shloka, can help us in coming out of anxiety. Very important shloka, if you understand this shloka. And the shloka which I quoted some time back. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. These are the shlokas, and there are many shlokas like this, but these are the shlokas which will help us in coming out of anxiety. In other words, if we don't understand the meaning of these shlokas, it is unlikely that we'll come out of anxiety. There is no medicine. So nowadays, we work in pharmaceutical. Okay. There are a lot of medicines for anti-depression, anti-anxiety, anti-panic attacks, whatever you call. There are a lot of names there. Some psychological diseases. Okay, let's not talk about disease. Diseases are there for some few, but then it's not like that only few have got. Everybody is under anxiety. But they are less anxiety, but it is their anxiety. And there are some, and that is increases, and some people gets into a little bit more extreme part. But this is going to be there with everybody. If we don't understand how to, first we have to understand we are under anxiety, constant anxiety. And then once we understand, we will come to know, we'll understand from Bhagavad will come to know how to get rid of anxiety and become happy. To become happy, we should first get rid of anxiety. Okay, and then we should connect to Lord, so that because our constitutional nature is to serve the Lord. We will be happy if you start serving the Lord. That is our nature. We have to go to that original nature of serving the Lord. So, how to go to that nature of serving to the Lord? So we have to get rid of first all these vikaras. Prabhupada mentions here somewhere there, or in earlier shloka rather. There are vikaras. Lord Kapila mentions that. Prabhupada explains it further. There are many vikaras. We have come with a lot of vikara. Vikara means abnormality, or vikara means dosha. Means something which is not advisable, we take that. It comes. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. These are the Shadripu, Shadvikara. But there are many other things also. It keeps. We have adopted this, those vikaras. It has come to us. And mind is a storehouse of all these vikaras. And we keep interacting with material world. We keep doing a lot of karmic activities to, counteract these problems, advantages, disadvantages, to counteract that. And it is all on the mental platform. So at a mental platform only. So there is an example given. Prabhupada explains here. What Prabhupada explains, I'll read. The example of dream is very appropriate. Due to different mental condition, in dreams we are put into advantageous and disadvantageous positions. Similarly, the spirit soul has nothing to do with his material nature, but because of his mentality nodding over it, he is put into position of conditional existence. Prabhupada, rather this shloka, and explains that, and Prabhupada further explains. He's comparing our situation like a person in the dream. We have dream in the night normally many times. Sometimes it's advantageous. Sometimes we feel, oh, I'm getting so much money. I'm reaching to some high position, or I am, enjoying this particular, dish. And some conditions, some situation we enjoy. We see in dream. Some other dream, we see somebody is trying to kill us. We are falling from some steep, hill, and I'm not passing in the exams, or something is being happening to me. Somebody's, all sort of disadvantageous things also comes. We are sleeping, we are in dream, we are lying on the bed, but we are nicely dreaming, and getting involved into that dream, advantage, disadvantage situation, and we are experiencing that joy, sorrow, or pleasure. But actually, it is not the real thing. Dream is not real. Dream is only the mental experience. Okay. And after some time, we wake up and, oh, it was a dream. And then we realize, it was a dream. It was not real. But then we also realize that, but I was suffering or taking pleasure in this sort of dream, which is, so this is very subtle thing. Dream is nothing but our mental phenomena. Because in the night, our gross body is sort of to the rest, or more or less active, inactive or less active, but subtle body is under full swing, and it works. So problem is, because we are attached to subtle body, whatever subtle body shows us the movie, we see that. This is a way to interpret. So dreams are there. Dream means subtle body is active. Mind have got a lot of impression from past life, this past, moments. And Prabhupada says in many places, I have read, what is dream? Somebody asked him, what is dream? So Prabhupada said, dream is nothing but it's a mental thing, mind platform. But generally the dream means you mix the real experiences of earlier lives, as well as your own imagination, and you mix it and see something. You means mind mixes it. So something what we see in the dream is also with our experience earlier, and sometimes it is imaginary, and mind just mix it and we see. That's not topic of that. It is irrelevant to discuss how it happens, because it is concoction, material concoction, mind concoction, but it happens. So dream is like we imagine it is there for some time, and then we continue experiencing, and later on we come to the senses, we wake up and say. So this shloka is compared to dream. Similarly, the way we experience a dream, same way we should interpret our material life also like a dream. So this is an analogy given, beautiful analogy. that Lord Kapila is helping us to understand that take this material world as if it is a dream. Of course, we are Vaishnavas. We are not Mayavadis. Mayavadis say it is dream. We also say it is dream. But there is a difference. Mayavadis say it is dream, but it is unreal. Everything is unreal. They say there is nothing like body, there is nothing like experience, there is nothing like, you are just experiencing, you are just hallucinating it, or you are just mentally imagining it. But we don't say that, which is not correct. As per the Shastras, it is not correct. As Shastra says it is real. Material world is real. It is here. Okay, I am sitting on the chair. There is a computer here. It is real. But it is temporary. And our association, our tendency to think it is permanent is the problem. So we say nothing is unreal. Nothing is unreal. We say everything is real only. We don't say that things are unreal or some imagination. We say, yes, material world exists, I exist, Lord Krishna exists. But my association with material world is going to be temporary, because material world is temporary, while I am permanent. I am immortal. So this is the way we should see. So Mayavadi, we should be very careful. Lord Chaitanya has sort of cautioned us in not getting into Mayavadi philosophy, which is really sometimes creates problem. And we can understand that. We should not say it's unreal, because how it can be unreal? Because it is created by Lord. Nothing, no creation is unreal. Everything is there, but our perception of being it going to be permanent, our perception that I am that material energy, our perception I will be there throughout this material world permanently is not advisable, and it's temporary. So we say it's temporary. And that way it is unreal in one sense. Dream is also unreal. So we are comparing material nature to dream. So in that sense, our perception that this material nature is me, is meant for me, it's meant for my enjoyment, I am going to be there, material nature is going to be there permanently, is the illusion, which is unreal. What is unreal? The living entity thinking that I'll be here permanently, material nature is for me, is unreal. That is the way material nature is unreal. But in physically existent material nature exists. It is, Bhagavad Gita says, it is out of 5 elements, 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says this material nature is material nature doesn't get destroyed. It is Amar. It is immortal. Material nature doesn't get destroyed. Like soul, super soul, material nature, Kala. These are all 4 subjects or 4 elements which doesn't get destroyed. I will not call it element, it's the 4 things which doesn't get destroyed. While only karma, 5th subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, that get destroyed. That can be destroyed, but not otherwise 4. So this is the way. So it is, material world is compared to the dream. This is the way we should understand. It is your association with material world is unreal, because it is temporary and you are not that material nature. That is the way we should look at it. Okay. Now, going back to further to the shloka. So Lord Kapila is explaining why we are suffering, why there is an anxiety pandemic nowadays or anytime. Why material living entity, why living entity is always under constant anxiety. Lord Kapila explains, Prabhupada explains more in purport that because we have taken material nature as if we are, it is as if we are there in material nature. We are taking material nature as a permanent thing. I am going to be there in material nature, permanent thing. The most importantly, we have developed the tendency of controlling the material nature, lording it over the material. Prabhupada uses the word lording. Lording means having lord proprietorship. Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. While Lord Krishna says, I am the Bhoktaram, I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor. Yagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram means I am the proprietor, I am the doer. He is only doing everything through his Prakriti. Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasha. Ahankara Vimudatma Karta Aham Iti Manyate. Karta Aham Iti Manyate. This is another shloka. We support this. Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasha. My material nature. Prakriti means my material nature does everything. All does all. While the ahankara vimudhatma, ahankari, egoistic soul, false ego soul, the soul which is under false ego, vimudhatma is a foolish soul, thinks that he is doing it. But Lord Krishna is saying, I am doing it through my Prakriti. Maya Dakshina Prakriti. Suyate Charachara. Means Lord Krishna is very clearly telling, Bhoktara and Gatana, I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, I am the doer. But Lord Krishna says, you are thinking, you are doer, you are enjoyer, and you are proprietor. And this is a clash of interest. In the sense, we are in the illusion because we are not the doer, neither we are proprietor. We can understand it. We understand that many times. It's not that we are completely ignorant of that. We understand. But problem is, under the influence of false ego, under the influence of Maya, under the influence of three gunas, last 2-3 shlokas talk, under the influence of three gunas, you are forced to think like that. You are always forcing things, situation forces you to think that, oh, I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer. Because we are adopted, we are chosen to be under material nature, influence of material nature. So you are under material nature. If you choose to be influenced, if you choose to be under the control of Lord Krishna, you will be under control of Lord Krishna, and you will be under the control of his internal potential. And that is your natural position, because we are under soul platform. But when you are in a material platform, material consciousness, you are under the influence of material nature, under which all these things happen. You think I am Lord, you think I am enjoyer, you think I am proprietor, and which is not correct. So material nature doesn't work under me, but I think it works under. I keep doing the activities to control the material nature. Then we keep doing the activities so as to control the material nature, but it doesn't work. Then we get frustrated. We are always under anxiety because the reality will not match to your expectation. Okay. And there will be always gap because we don't know what is going to happen next time. Factually, that is a real thing. But we think something will happen as per my control. Sometimes apparently it happens as per your control. That is where Maya tricks us. Yeah, I have studied, I got full mark. Actually correct. You have studied, you have control, and you have studied. And definitely you have got some control. But it is not a super control. It is not a final control. Ultimate control. Ultimate control is Krishna. So what? So this is a gap in our understanding that I am the controller. And hence this gap comes. Hence this, expectation versus reality issue comes. And anxiety start building up. Even though you go into so-called modern management theories also, we work in office or we work in personal social life also. They have this management theory. They also say ki, at a job place, if your expectation doesn't match to your capability, then you will be under frustration, which happens. So nothing great management theories said. Most of the management theories are taken from Bhagavad Gita. If we have to be bold enough to say that. They just beat around the bush. And I admit also in many places, we are referred Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes they may not admit, whatever it may be. But for us, it's our final management book is Bhagavad Gita. And our final guru is Lord Krishna. We don't really care about modern theories, although they are right. They may be right to some extent, but they are not completing the loop and they are not getting into all the detail. That's why. But then, yes, we can always understand if these things exist and we can always try to correlate. So coming back to the point, so due to this misconception, due to this illusion, we are under anxiety. Correct? Now, further purport says, Prabhupada says, I'll just go into last 3-4 things. The best service to the people in general is to awaken them Krishna consciousness so that they may know that supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor and supreme trader is Krishna. Then illusory dream of lording over matter will be vanishing. There is a mention of friend here. Okay, so Prabhupada explains friend. So living entity thinks I am friend of everybody. I will do something good for others. I am friend of everybody. You come to me, I'll give. And that happens. Some so-called little bit more powerful people in the material world, we can see, oh, they are like leaders. When you come to me, I'll solve your problem. Hey, don't go to God. I'll give you daily bread. They say that. Prabhupada gives this example. He was preaching at that time, no? Started with in Western countries. So he was giving the example of church thing. And it is true with everybody, not only church, everywhere. There are people in the society, hey, why you are going to temple, church and mosque? You come to us, I will give you daily bread. And they bring some daily bread full of, lorry full of breads and they'll give them. This is happening now also. They give, okay, politician, many politicians, not at all. Some of them are good, but some of them, you don't go to Lord and God and all that. You come to us, we'll give you everything. But is it not very foolish thing? And the people who do that and people who believe that, both are foolish, right? Devotees with some minimum knowledge can understand it. It's not very difficult. But the question comes, they are giving you daily bread, so-called in the lorries and trucks. They are giving you some food, so-called so-called cloths, under the name of social service. But from whom they are getting all this? They don't know from where they are getting daily bread. They are not making daily bread. Daily bread is made by wheat. They are only preparing it, but wheat is made by Lord through this material nature. They don't have any guts of making laboratories in the small wheat grain in the lab, right? Prabhupada challenged that you make one grain in the lab, then we'll see. Yet they are not. Nobody has accepted that challenge. Why? Because Shastra says authentic things. So this is a way, right? So living entity cannot be the friend of other living entity just like that in a direct way, without via going to the Lord. This is the point here. Of course, living entities can be friend of other living. That's why compassionate behavior of Vaishnavas is glorified. Why Vaishnava is compassionate? Compassionate means friend. Friend cannot be just just giving some physical. Friend has to be friendship means compassion. Friendship means talking truth. Friendship means no cheating. The friend will tell you the real thing on your face. This is the way we have to see it. Who is our real friend? Who tells you the truth? Right? This is our moral stories also say that, our day-to-day life story. Friend means who tells you the truth, who tells you and who can do good for you, who can have control on you in the thing, like that. So who can be our friend? Now, how we ourselves are under control of all this, mess. We are still under anxiety. We are still under ignorance, full under grip of Maya. We are going to a Janma Mrityu Jaravadi. We don't ourselves doesn't have control of what is going to happen next time, next moment. We don't know. On the road, something may happen. In office, something may happen. In social life, something. I may lose money here. Somebody may cheat you. We are also getting, ups and downs, waves of this, Maya. How we can be saving the others from these things? No way. Correct? We can, infactually, we can, of course, see, one may say, okay, I have given some money to my friend, I helped them. Fine, that is there to some extent, some help may be there, but it is permanent and is it going to solve his problem? Not really. We don't know what exactly that person want. We think he may want this, so I give that, but actually it may be something. But nevertheless, there is so much distribution of food, there is so much distribution of money, but poverty is still there. There is so much, advices are given, so much science has developed, medicines are there, but still diseases are there. Problem exists. But the problem here is because we are not approaching the right friend. Prabhupada explains this. Who is our right friend? Only Lord Krishna is the ultimate and right friend. If at all, so if we approach Lord Krishna through as a friend, we are going to get help. Prabhupada mentioned we will never get cheated. So this is the first illusion we should remove, that we are going to help somebody. I am friend of everybody. Yes, we have got desire. We have got good intention. Intentions are good. I am not really criticizing that part. Because intention has to be good. We have to be friend. We want to be friend, then be real friend. What is a real friend? First tell them the truth. What is the truth? That our all, not that person who you are going to help and yourself. First admit that Lord Krishna is your friend. And you be friend to that other person through Lord Krishna. That is the real friendship. That is mentioned in this purport mention, and I was reading in other places also. So whenever we are doing, that's why if you see ISKCON actually, our organization really directly doesn't get into social service and all that. Of course, we are doing much more social service, so-called social service in actually on ground than any social service. We distribute so much prasad. Who distributes? No organization distributes. But it is prasad. Prasad means we are connecting everything to the Lord Krishna. We are connecting every food distribution. We don't call food distribution. We call prasad distribution. Okay. So in the sense, okay. So why? Because we feel the prasad of the Lord. Prasad means krupa. Krupa, has to be given to the living entity. Then only. So our consciousness while doing every so-called social activity, so-called help to others, is always via Krishna consciousness. So what we are trying to do here? We are trying to distribute prasad. We are trying to distribute books. We don't distribute mundane books. Obviously not. They may be good in some context, but we don't say that. We distribute only Bhagavad Gita and all over Vaishnava literature, which Prabhupada has given. Why? Because we feel that will only benefit the living entity. So we are only mediator. We think we are only mediator. And our gurus, paramparas, and all our shastras has given everything. We are only helping them, other living entity to read it. Giving prasad. Prasad also. We think the consciousness is very clear. Everything is given by God only. God only gives the ingredients of making bhoga. Then you offer to Lord, it becomes prasad. And then you are distributing that. We don't really encourage distributing the bhoga. Not really. So there is a clear process of helping others. We cannot do it whimsically. It has to be in context to Lord. That's the Krishna consciousness. Whatever we are doing, otherwise also, before Krishna consciousness life, and later on, practically it is same in terms of the physical activity, but in terms of consciousness, it has changed, and it has got huge potency difference. There is a difference between eating food and eating prasada. This we have to realize ourselves first, and we should be convinced about it, and we should make others also convinced that there is a huge difference between Krishna conscious outcome and activity without Krishna conscious. There is a huge difference. This has to be, we should have firm faith, and we should realize this immediately, as early as possible, so that whatever we do, we really turn out to be a friend of other living entities. So that's why Prabhupada concludes in purport, saying that if you want to be real friend of living entity, then first of all, don't be cheater. If you are telling, I'll be your living friend, don't worry about Lord, then you are a cheater. And cheater cannot be your friend. So you stop being cheated and stop cheating others. First, you say that you are whomever you are helping, in whatever way, you do that. But always make sure that that person understands that it is through Krishna. Because Krishna is sending that. And that's the reality. We should be able to tell that. We should be able to behave in such a way that we are Krishna's representatives, trying to help others under that, banner of Krishna consciousness. Our identity is Krishna consciousness. Our identity is not a friend or social worker or national worker. Prabhupada used the word national worker. That cannot be. Then if you keep your identity as a social worker or national, then you are actually offending Lord. Because then we are saying, well, you be aside. I'm going to help this year. Then you are denying the authority. It's arrogancy. See, this is a very subtle point. We never would have imagined, unless you would have heard Prabhupada's literature. At least I would not never would have been able to make such subtle difference between the same thing, apparently same thing. We would have never imagined to distinguish this thing. That Krishna conscious and material conscious activity apparently same. So very clear. Okay. So offending the Lord comes if you say, I am the doer, I am the friend of living entity, I am going to help them, I'll take care of so many people. We can't. We are not capable of doing it. But you are definitely capable of doing the service to Lord Krishna, and empowerment also will come. That's why even the real devotees, apparently you may find their activities are very simple, low profile, so-called, if you know, devotee. Oh, they are only chanting on the street, they are only doing a small percent. What they can make difference? Actually, they are making the huge difference, although they are not too much, dollar drama about it. Okay. This is a very subtle secret we need to experience with the help of devotees around us. You will find their activities are extremely potent, extremely powerful, if you really see that way. Otherwise, we are habitually seeing all the so-called baby leader making, big drama out of all these things. I am helping them. I am doing this. I am doing that. But they are least bothered about God, religion, and Vaishnavism and Vedic lead. They are less bothered. You are seeing hundreds of politicians nowadays. They are cropping up nowadays. But actually, without Krishna consciousness, it's all cheating. We should never get into that. If at all you have to support, we have to support the Krishna consciousness and Krishna conscious people in whatever format they are. That doesn't matter. Okay, we have to do that. So this is the very important shloka. Okay, this is what I wanted to share with all of you. Basically, just to summarize. Living entities transcend into material existence. We should understand that we are not material existence. We are not material. We are not body. We are soul, which are transcendental. But since we have falsely developed the mentality of dominating the material nature, exploiting it or lording it over, we are in trouble. We are in material existential condition, which is in troublesome mode, which is a kuntha. Okay. And why it has happened? Because we are thinking that I am doer, I am proprietor, I am enjoyer. But who is the enjoyer, proprietor, and doer? It's the Lord. So if you do work in material nature, satisfying the Lord, with that consciousness, you are the enjoyer, you are the proprietor. And whatever I do is meant for you. I am nothing. I am only empowered by it. Okay. Everything I'm getting through you. Then we will actually become more powerful with as a devotee. Okay. And it is compared to dream. So we have to just come out of dream. How will come out of dream? Somebody from sleep we come out of dream with some phenomena. It's a natural phenomena. We wake up at some time. Here in material existence, we have to come out of so-called dream or illusion by reading the literature and associating with Vaishnava. Okay, that is so knowledge will wake you up, and satsang or serving the Lord will wake you up. So this is a way to come out of it. Once you have removed all those so-called misconceptions, automatically anxiety goes away, which you have seen, because this class is a devotee platform. We are not new to this philosophy. So we will be experiencing it. When you do something with the consciousness of Krishna, then we don't suffer so much. But if you don't have that Krishna consciousness, definitely we will have anxieties. So this is the secret of coming out of the anxieties. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you. So maybe I request Prabhuji, Vidura Prabhuji. I saw the message, Prabhuji. You want to log off at 9 o'clock. In case you want to comment before you log off, you can, and then maybe we can go to question and answer also subsequently.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Wonderful class, Prabhu. Very focused on the purport and the verse. No deviation from that. Very nice. And all your explanations were very nice. So I'm just trying to, within what you said. So spiritual life starts, it's basically called science of self-realization. I would have read the book written by Sai. So science of self-realization means that, I am not material. I am not the body. Right? So that is the ABCD of the spiritual life. So Prabhupada is actually saying you are actually you are here because you are not realizing who you are, right? The minute we realize, then we go back to God. Now those are the two things. And in that, when he's saying this material thinking, the thinking that, I am the enjoyer, is basically this addiction. So as long as we know, when I say addiction, that word is very clear, right? When we take to something, it is like it keeps on pulling you more and more and more and more and more. You are not able to take your hand off that. So this thinking that I am material, whatever, I am material, I am the body, or I am the enjoyer of all these material things, that is the addiction. So the entire process is de-addiction. Right? Spiritual life is actually de-addiction, coming to the point of realizing that, I am not actually the enjoyer. And once we come to that point, then immediately that transformation happens. And like, as you rightly said, if I am saying that, I am the giver, I am the doer and all of that, this is like, you mentioned cheating. It is like stealing, right? You talked about this philosophy of, I will give you the bread and the politician. Because Prabhupada takes this example of the China and all, where they say communism, where they say the government is the giver. So why are you going anywhere? Government will provide you everything. But then it is like, I have stolen someone's money and I'm trying to distribute to everybody, saying it is mine. What is great there? You're actually, when you use the word cheater, I'm using the word thief. So if you are going to take, you are doing a thievery and then saying, oh, here I am a great person giving all these things. But on the other hand, you work as the servant of that original owner and distribute on his behalf because he is asked to distribute. That is much more stronger than being a thief and then trying to get a big name, which is what Prabhu said. The devotees is very powerfully, whatever they seem to do, even though it may look small, but it is very powerful because that is truth. Like he used the word truth, because truth is always powerful. Other things are only shiny things, but has no value in it. So that is nice. And the last and most important thing is, if you and I are able to make people aware of this, that is the biggest help we can do. So like, making people, it's like, that word is there. If you just give fish, it is one thing, but if you teach someone to fish, it's another thing. Like, it's not the right word in that sense, we don't want to eat fish. But the point here is, if you keep giving food like this, that is not what it is important. But if you make them understand the whole truth behind that entire thing, then they can survive on their own. That means you are removing them from their illusion and making them come to reality. So this is the biggest social work we can do. So very nicely explained by Prabhu. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Prabhuji, for addition, correction.
No correction, Prabhu. All only little. Since you asked, because nothing for me to speak today. You actually spoke everything nicely. Hare Krishna.
Any questions from devotees? Any comments? We can continue for another 5-10 minutes. Then we can. Friends, we can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Pranam.
For another 5-10 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
can you be a little bit louder?
As we are this spiritual, we are spiritual soul. Prabhuji, we are not this material body. As we are.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, we are not able to hear you. Can you be a little bit louder?
Are you able to hear me now, Prabhu?
Little bit okay, but it can be little bit better.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Can you hear?
Yeah.
As Prabhuji, we are spiritual, spiritual soul. We are not this metal body. So our identification is day-to-day activities. Like we cannot remember that we are not the spiritual soul always. So how to keep that thought that yes, we are not this metal body, we are always spiritual. Because once we identify that we are the spiritual soul, then there won't be any, we can understand that we are not going to die and we are not going to have any sort of these things. But that seriousness is not there. That doesn't come. So how to get that, how to understand this, Prabhuji? Please, can you enlighten?
Okay. Prabhuji, it's a very good question, very practical question, and seems like everybody of us going through it, this dilemma. So, Prabhuji, my inputs here will be like this. See, first of all, what you said is how to really sort of take care in day-to-day life. I'm not body and I'm spirit soul. So Prabhuji, we cannot be thinking of it on every moment. Oh, I am not body, I am soul. We should not do that. It's not possible because we are under control of mind, Prabhuji. And mind will keep you distracting. You will not be able to think that way. So you should not worry of thinking it on daily basis. In the sense that on the every moment basis. We should follow the process. So first of all, chanting. Chanting, if you continue following chanting, slowly that knowledge will come from, that realization will come. So bhakti parampara or devotion, it depends on the potency of the process. Bhakti is powerful. Harinam, Lord Krishna's name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the power. We have to only take his help, take its help. We ourselves cannot do by our own, by thinking that, oh, I am soul, I'm not body. No, we can't do that because we are not at that level. Okay. So don't worry about thinking in day-to-day basis or what will happen. Don't think too much. My suggestion is just follow the process. Keep chanting, keep hearing, keep reading, keep associating, take prasad. Slowly that purification will come. And once mind gets purified, our intelligence also gets purified, and the knowledge, Lord Krishna will give it to you. Guru Parampara. He will give it to you and we'll have that realization automatically. Okay. So process, you have to follow the process. We have to follow the process. We should not artificially we cannot have it, we cannot deal with this on our individual strength. It has to be, we have to leverage the strength of chanting. Then you will be able to address all this. Okay. So this is only answer. There's a practical methodology. That's why process is given. We will not be by artificially thinking or speculating. We can't do that because we are not in that question. I'll give the example. Suppose you have got glow in your hand. You have put the glow in your hand and you have been told you remove that glow without taking help of other hand. Can you do that? No, you can't do that. But you can do it easily by taking others easily. So this is the way it is. So we are already having cover up our mind, body on us, and which is like a glow on our. So now we are trying to get free of this. How to do? Just take a Harinam, just take chanting, just take devotional service. Follow the process. And that perfect, you have to follow the process. Only thing you should have desire to do it, sincerity. That's all. Then everything will be taken out easily, all that covering, and you will have his original knowledge and that realization and that experience, that intelligence, everything will come from it. So bhakti devotional science is not speculative process, it's a experience. It's a experience, it's a realization. You have to actually experience it. Do it first, then you will experience it. Do it, then experience it, like that. So there's nothing like we should worry too much about thinking on, oh, I'm not body, like that. Don't think that way. It doesn't work that way. Just follow the process, keep reading. So as you are reading, slowly that knowledge is building and slowly that consciousness is changing. And it will work. Don't worry too much on that. Work under the shelter of Guru. It works. That is the way it works, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I don't know whether I answered it, but maybe you have got some doubt, we can discuss. It is the way it works.
Krishna, no problem. It's, clear now. Thank you.
So any other questions, comments? Otherwise we can log out. Okay. So if there are no questions, we'll close the session. Rantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Om. Hare Krishna. Okay, we are logging out. Hare